TFA fam, what is up? We are on to week 13. We have 2 more weeks left until the glorious fantasy playoffs start. So, it's a great time of year. We're almost to December. Christmas is only 25 days away almost. So, what would be a better way for Christmas than to win a fantasy championship? That's what I'm about. That's what we're here for. So, let's get into it. Let's get into the questions. We already got a lot of them in the chat. We got a lot of the people in the chat. I'm shocked that Ashton is not the first, or Alexis, is not the first one in here with a question. But Abeka, we got you. Pick 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex for this week. It's full PPR.
Oh boy.
Stevenson, ETN, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, and then wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Godwin, Palmer, Zay Jones, and George Pickens. Really nice team. This is very nice. I don't know if Travis Etienne's going to play. I know he was supposed to just kind of go through the walkthrough today, not really do a whole lot. They said they're going to try to ramp him up. But I think he'll play. They sounded pretty confident that he was going to play. He was cleared to go into the game last week. They were being precautionary with him. And so, which is still pain because people that started him got a 0.0 or 0.3, I think is what he ended up scoring last week. So that was great. But anyways, for me, this is Ramondre Stevenson is an absolute lock because Damian Harris is out. And so Ramondre Stevenson now, even against Buffalo, is a top 5 running back. Buffalo has actually really struggled to stop the run in recent weeks. I think they're like 28th in DVOA over the last 4 games in rush DVOA, so they have really struggled to stop the run. And we already know he's going to see probably 8 to 10 targets in this game. That's what's made him so great, even with Damian Harris back. So he's a lock for me. And then the other one, I would go with obviously Jonathan Taylor. We're going to play him against Dallas. And then the 2 wide receivers, I'm going to go Chris Godwin and Garrett Wilson. I really like Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson looks like a different wide receiver with an actual functioning quarterback that's not named Zach Wilson. So
literally anybody but Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he's horrendous. Next Josh Rosen, really. I think his time is done. I know they said his career is not over with the Jets. It's over with the Jets. So I'm going to go Godwin, and then I'm going to go Garrett Wilson. And then the flex, I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker.
Boy. So
some good news for this game. One, game script should definitely be in their favor, right? It's kind of like the Chiefs last week, right? With them, where they ran the ball 22 times. Like, this isn't going to be a game where we're worried about the Rams coming out and putting up points and really pushing them to throw the ball a lot. And so I think regardless, I think Kenneth Walker could see anywhere from 20 to 25 carries in this game. He's starting to get a little bit more involved in the passing game, not as much last week, but he has found the end zone, which has come up big for him. 2 touchdowns last week for him. And so I think this is a great game script. And Aaron Donald suffered a high ankle sprain, and he may not play in this game. If he does not play, that is a massive blow to that defense, game script, everything else. Love Kenneth Walker, so I'm going to plug in Kenneth Walker.
Golly, man. I'm with you on the wide receivers. So we're fine there. We're trying to find the running back to sit out of this group is muy difícil. Man. I feel like if ETN plays, I do not want to sit him. Going up against Detroit, if they're ramping him up slowly, gotta assume that if he's not a full go, that they're not going to rush him in. And we've seen him be efficient on fewer touches as well. So even if he gets knocked down from the 20, 22, 25 he's been seeing, I think he can still be completely fine going up against the Lions and getting 17 touches, right? Man, I do not know who I want to sit out of this running back group. Is it crazy to sit Taylor out of this group? Is it crazy? I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to sit Taylor. The Cowboys' defense has been good this year. So giving up the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh fewest PPR points per game to running backs. If Dallas jumps ahead, his passing game involvement has been up and down. I think I'm going to sit Taylor. Obviously, if we get good news on ETN. If we don't, if we hear he's going to be limited, not likely to go or anything like that, then you can easily just swap them out. But I think that's what I'm going to do, Kev. I think I'm going to sit Jonathan Taylor. Oh my God.
If I was going to sit somebody that wasn't Kenneth, it would be Kenneth Walker. I think it would be the next up that I would get to in the list of players that I would want to sit. It's just Jonathan Taylor is so involved in this offense, and he's such a huge part of the offense. And he is getting all the looks. He's seeing targets consistently. He scored a touchdown now in 3 straight games. They've really committed to the run. I mean, he has 22 or more touches in 3 straight games. He's been an RB1 for 3 straight weeks as well in PPR formats. So he's really, really, really hard to sit based purely off volume. I mean, Dallas's run defense has been good, but they are.
Yeah, but you can say that about all 4 of these running backs, right?
Sure, but so that's where I would lean though, is because with Travis Etienne, and Detroit's run defense has actually been pretty good. Like they've done a really good job against opposing running backs. And so they shut down Saquon Barkley for 15 carries, like 20 yards or whatever it was. I mean, Aaron Jones did absolutely nothing against them. It wasn't just bad deal running backs. They've done a really good job of limiting running backs. And the thing that worries me is with Travis Etienne would be his passing game involvement. It was frustrating. He hasn't seen, I don't think, more than 3 targets. But then last week, Jermichael Hasty gets 5. And so they're not utilizing him as much in the passing game. If they're not going to do that, and this game looks like a shootout. This game looks like it's going to be an absolute shootout. It has one of the highest totals on the week, and so Travis Etienne would be the one that would worry me the most of all of these. But if I wasn't going to sit him, and if I was going to play him, I would sit Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, Walker was the one who I was debating next. Like you laid out with how that game script can go. If Donald's out, Amika, if I'm you, I'm just praying that ETN doesn't play, just to make my life much easier.
All right. Well, I guess that's where we stand.
That is where we stand.
All right. C-Crip. Hey, how's it going, Kevin? Cody, I need to start 2 in a full PPR. Brian Robinson, C. Pat Swift, Lenny, Devonta Smith, or Jalen Warren if Harris sits. If Harris does play, then who should I go with? Thinking Swift.
So it's a running back and a flex.
If Harris plays, I'm playing Harris. I really like Harris. I actually had him as a top 13 running back prior to the injury because I did that.
Does he have Harris? I don't think he. I think Rip is saying they have Jalen Warren.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't even know. Is Jalen Warren? Is he going to play this week?
He should. Yeah, he was at practice today.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, turn to practice. But Jalen or Najee Harris doesn't practice, which isn't surprising.
I'm gonna go Swift and Smith.
if Najee doesn't play, I probably go Jaylen Warren. The only thing that worries me with Jaylen Warren is and maybe you would know more than anybody else, but because I still feel like maybe that Benny Snell might be the early down back, and maybe you see Jaylen Warren kind of stay in a similar role than what he's in, with more of the pass catching involvement.
I think Warren's involvement gets an uptick. Like, I don't think that it becomes, Snell jumping into the Najee Harris role, but I don't think it's going to be a case where it's like, oh, Harris is out and Jaylen Warren was the backup, so that just means that he's going to be the one, getting 70% of the opportunity. I don't think that's going to be the case. I do think he would be more involved than he had been on early down stuff, and getting a little bit more involvement in the run game and just holds on to the pass catching work. But I don't think it's going to be an issue or a situation where he's getting, like I said, 70-75% of the touches. I think that ends up becoming a split backfield.
It is a great matchup against Atlanta, though. That's what makes it tough.
Snell looked good on Monday, too.
He did. And Anthony McFarland just come out of nowhere. I didn't even realize he was still on the team. But then I realized earlier in the day when I was kind of doing some research for the Showdown slate that he was on the practice squad. So, and then they elevated him. So, he looked pretty good too. But if Najee was out, I probably would go Jaylen Warren. I think he has the highest ceiling. It's a great matchup. If Najee plays, I think I would go with Brian Robinson. At least he has a secure role. It's a good matchup against a Giants defense that has really struggled, especially recent weeks. Like I said, over the last 4 games, they are 28th in rush DVOA over the last 4 weeks. They have really struggled to stop the opposing running back. So I actually have Brian Robinson at RB21 right now. I have him ahead of DeAndre Swift, who I have DeAndre Swift at RB25. So I would go with him. But if Najee were to sit, I think I would just roll the dice and go Jaylen Warren. And then in the flex, I agree. I think I would go Devonta Smith. I think is how I'd play that. Crab Gravy. What's up, guys? What's up, Crab Gravy?
Gravy.
Pick two flex, full PPR. Monty, Jeff Wilson, Rachaad White, DPJ, Burks. Thanks. I would go Rachaad White for sure. I like Rachaad White whether Liddy returns or not. I think that he, especially coming off the injuries coming off of it, they were talking about it earlier that he still was dealing with some soreness and all that stuff. So even if he returns, I don't think he's going to return like just come right back in and be the starting running back for this team anymore. I think they're going to want to limit his touches, especially kind of because they're going to the playoffs. Like that division's so bad, like they're going to win that division. It's not going to be pretty, but they're going to do it. And so I think they try to limit him a little bit. Rachaad White has proven that he can be that. I think, especially in the passing game. So I really like Rachaad White, whether Lenny returns or not. And so I would go Rachaad White. And then the other running back I think I would go with is David Montgomery.
No love for your boy Jeff Wilson after last week?
He wasn't bad. I mean, thankfully, he found the end zone because I don't know what they were doing. Like, one of the worst run defenses in the league, and they barely ran the ball. Like, but then again, when you have Tyreek Hill and you have Jalen Waddle, like, I guess some of that should have been factored in. But at least he found the end zone. So I think he finished with like 12. But I think Treylon Burks is also a really interesting option against Philly. But I think that's where I would lean. I mean, the Packers are so bad against the run. They are so bad against the run. And we just saw
Monty always seems to do well against them too.
Yeah, and so I think I would go with David Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm with you. We have our first agreement of the night. Mark it down.
Dez. I need 2 wide receivers. I have Ayuk Jacoby Myers, Olave. Also, I need 2 running backs. I have Montgomery, Pollard, or Gibson. Who should I start? I'm going to go with Ayuk and Olave.
I'm gonna go Ayuk and Myers. Assuming that Myers is good to go. I don't think he won't be, but
Yeah, I think he should be okay, I think. But yeah, I think I would.
I mean, it's one of those cases where, obviously Olave has the higher ceiling, probably a little more volatile, although he has shown to have a solid floor as well. But it's like Myers in that matchup, operating out of the slot. I like Ayuk and Myers.
And then at running back, I would go Pollard and Monty.
Yeah. Yep.
Ashton, TFA, stand up. I don't know why we're standing up, but okay. I don't know why we're doing that, but all right. It did feel good. You kind of stretched the legs a little bit. Could have said a little later though, once we've been on here for a while. Fantasy Gurus, we are. Trade deadline was today. I'm locked in as the number 1 seed. Rate my official squad: Hurst, McCaffrey, Chubb, AJ, CD, Kelsey, Aaron Jones. Fantasy Gurus. I don't know why we're coming in here roster baiting like you are. Just coming in here and just trying to. This is a great lineup. Excellent lineup.
Yeah.
I mean,
nothing else to say.
And if you're a fantasy guru, you already knew that. So just because you're trying to flex on people. It's all right. It's all good. Thank you. Emilio. Need 2 wide receivers at a flex. Mike Evans, Higgins, Keenan Allen, Lazard, Palmer, Swift, Monty, and Jeff Wilson. No shortage of options.
Whoa.
I'm going to go Higgins and Keenan.
I agree with you there. But who you put in the slot? I mean, in the slot, in the flex. I'm going Monty just for the volume. I think that's where I lean. Evans is obviously interesting. I like Palmer a bunch this week again, but I think I'm going to go Monty over Evans.
I think I'll go Mike Evans.
It just really worries me with Tristan Wirfs now being out.
The volume has definitely been there for Mike Evans. I mean, but it's just been like he had 9 targets last week, but only 2 catches for 31 yards. But I mean, over the last, really 5 or 6 weeks, 15 targets, 11 targets, 11 targets, 6 targets, and 9 targets. The problem, he's wide receiver 10, 14, and then 33, 39, and 75. And he only has 3 touchdowns on the year, which seems wild to me. For someone that's always like a constant, like 10 plus touchdowns every single year. Yeah. I think there's some positive regression coming for Mike Evans, and so stick with Mike Evans.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Ashton, start 2, Ayuk, DPJ, Zay Jones, or Burks. This one, I'm going to go with Ayuk, and I'm going to go with Zay Jones.
Me too.
Start 2, tight end premium, Garrett Wilson, Hurst, Myers, Ayuk, Dulcich. Garrett Wilson and Ayuk. Yeah.
Boom.
TX 416. Which 2 to start between Swift, JWJ, and Pollard?
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Pollard and Jeff Wilson. Only thing I'll say again with this, that with Jeff Wilson, what worries me with him is this feels like a back and forth kind of shootout type game as well. Um, and so I could see where he doesn't get as many carries, but he could very well see targets.
Raheem Mostert coming back, which I mean hasn't really mattered all that much, but I'm gonna go Swift and Pollard on that one. Still like the way that matchup sets up for the run game.
Ashton with the $2 super chat, appreciate you.
Holla,
Start
holla,
2,
holla.
12 team. Christian Watson, Myers, DBJ, Juju, LFG. I'm gonna go with Juju and Christian Watson.
Juju for sure. Man. And I think if you need I think I have Myers in like 3 or 4 spots ahead of Watson in my rankings, if I'm remembering correctly. That's just with some of the volatility that comes with Watson. I think Myers is much safer, but Watson, obviously with the way that he has a nose for the end zone, as they say.
Feels very Will Fuller-ish, right? Remember Will Fuller, especially a couple years ago, where I think he scored like 9 touchdowns, and it was like some ridiculous, it's like 20 receptions. I mean, it was just a completely absurd touchdown rate that he was posting. It feels very similar to that, but he's certainly their most explosive wide receiver they have. He's still seeing. It's not like he's seeing like 3 or 4 targets and he's just getting touchdowns. 6 targets isn't great, but it's not bad either. And it's just a really, really good matchup against the Chicago defense.
Yeah.
So that's why I lean that.
Would it matter to you if Rodgers seems like he's going to play? Let's say that he doesn't. Would that matter to you at all? But I guess we're not going to know that if it's between he and Myers, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers already said he's playing this week, so take that for what it's worth. Ethan. Hey guys. Hey Ethan. Loving the stream.
Hi.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Which
you.
would you pick for my flex spot out of Garrett Wilson, Rashad White, Mike Evans, or David Montgomery? 18-8 team PPR, so that explains the depth.
Man.
I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson with this one.
It's funny you say that because that's where I was leaning as well. Like in an 8 team, everyone's going to be stacked. I want to swing for the fences. So I'm going Garrett Wilson. I think I have Evans ahead of Garrett Wilson in my rankings. And obviously earlier I said I'd play David Montgomery over Evans. But I think in this scenario, in an 8-team league, I'm just going to swing and go with Wilson.
Is it hot that I have Garrett Wilson ranked wide receiver 15 this week? That's where I have.
I don't think so. I think I have him at like 19 or 20, so we're not that far off.
Yeah, he's
just talked about him on the wide receiver show today.
Good for you. That was a good show. You did a good job.
Thanks.
Emmanuel. Need 1 wide receiver and 2 flex. About to choke. What?
Golly, that hurt.
Does the cat still have claws?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was good.
Not enough room for this fucking cat to get up here. So, like, just jumped, grabbed onto my leg, and pulled itself up. Golly.
That was some laughter pain. That was fun. Slayton Burks or Cooks and Miles Sanders, Jamal Williams. or any of the wide receivers you didn't pick, starting Taylor and Walker's running backs, and Davis and Scary Terry's wide receivers. So 2 flex.
1 wide receiver and 2 flex.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to go Miles Sanders in one of the flex for sure. Or wait. Now, let me think this. Let me think this through. So let's start with the wide receiver. The wide receiver, I'm going to go Treylon Burks.
Agreed.
And then the other flex, I'm not going Cooks. Cooks is dead.
Gonna go Jamal.
Yeah, but he's been so bad too. Like if it's really outside of the touchdown, he has to score a touchdown to come through. If he does not score a touchdown, he is nothing.
Yeah.
He's been like the most inefficient running back on the year, but he has like 12 or 13 touchdowns. So
yeah. But he keeps getting there.
Yeah,
it's going to be a shootout. So I think they do have the red zone trips for him to fall. Did you see the list, by the way, of where the yardage of his touchdowns have come from?
I imagine they've all been inside the 5-yard line.
It was something like 9 of his 13 have all been within the 5.
Yeah.
And I think of those 9, it was something like 6 of them were from the 1. Just wild. But still, I'm still going to go Jamal Williams. I like that matchup more than I like the matchup for Sanders going up against Tennessee. I think Tennessee now has the number 1 rush DVOA defense. Also letting up the 5th fewest PPR points per game to running backs as well. So I am going to go...
So that's why I feel like you gotta. I feel like you have to play Miles Sanders here.
Like, it's gonna be Burks, Sanders, and Williams. I can't play Slayton or Cooks over Miles Sanders.
I'm not playing Cooks at all. But Slayton
is interesting.
I think that's where I would go. I think I would go Slayton. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Burks, Slayton, and Miles Sanders. I get it with Jamal Williams. I get that, and it makes some sense. But he's so damn touchdown dependent that if he doesn't get a touchdown, he is not going to pay off. Where I think, just as crazy as it is, I think Darius Slayton's a little bit more safer. This is going to be a little bit more of a passing script for this game. It's you beat the Washington football team or the Commanders, whatever you want to call them, through the air, not on the ground. So,
okay. Sorry, couldn't really help you there, Manuel.
Legendary pest control. Justin Fields, rest of season thoughts. I don't know if he's really going to play, or if they do. I wouldn't expect the same type of usage that you're seeing from him.
There's really no reason to do it, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. At this point, I would be trying to get the best draft pick you possibly can get to really start helping this team. And
trade number 1 back, get some more capital.
Yep, get a left tackle. Could be really smart. They have a gazillion dollars to spend next year. We've already talked about that. Like, it's going to be a lot. Like, the Bears have a chance to really upgrade this team in a big way this year. And so, like, there's no reason to keep playing Justin Fields. Like, you're not going to help anything. There's no reason. So I don't. And with the injury that he has, like, it just seems like a much smarter move to shut him down, get him right for next year. There's only 5 games left in the season or something like that. So if you're holding on to him because you think he's going to come back and he's going to be the guy he was, I just wouldn't really expect it, honestly. Oh, nope. Sorry. Go ahead.
FBA coming through with the super chat. Appreciate you. Swift, White, Smitty, CPAT, Davis, Burks. We need 2. Pick 2. So I get. Oh, okay. I see. Never mind. I got it now. So we need an RB2 and a flex. We're picking 2 here for FBA.
Rashad White.
It's gonna be White and Smitty for me.
Yeah. Gabe Davis is just so damn volatile. He's either a wide receiver 1 or unusable, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because his numbers are wide receiver 14, 66, 87, 1, 18, 61, 45, 9, 31, and 64.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Devonta Smith is a lot like that too, though. He hasn't posted. He only has 1 wide receiver 2 weeks since their bye in week 7. 54, 54, 28, 20, and 58.
Yeah, but I much prefer Smitty's matchup.
Yeah.
Against that pass funnel.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, I'd probably go Devonta Smith. It's just, yeah. And I have Devonta Smith. I have him ranked wide receiver 24. I have Gabe Davis at 28. He's just so damn volatile.
Yeah, I mean, really all these options, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. So, yeah, I think
Makes me so sad that Swift is lumped in with this, and neither of us said Swift.
I would love to say to say DeAndre Swift. I don't somewhat understand what they're doing with him. He's either hurt, and if he is, he shouldn't be playing, or if he's not, he should be playing a lot more. Clearly, their best back. He's clearly the best running back. I guess we did see a little uptick for him last week, where he had 36% snap share, but he still only saw 5 carries. But he did see 8 targets last week. It's just
Justin Jackson still getting involved too.
Yeah. So I think that's the way I would lean. It's tough. I would love to say DeAndre Swift, but I'm going to go Rashad White. He makes the most sense.
Can't say it.
Is that where we're at?
No.
Oh, yep. Justin, Kenneth Walker or Christian Watson? This is Kenneth Walker.
Waka.
I know it's hard to say Christian Watson as well as he's been playing. I realize the touchdowns that he keeps seeing, but I'll take the guy who's going to get 20 touches versus the guy that might see 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Correct.
See, Crip,
correct.
As a Cowboys as a fan, start JT. I mean, we are good, but we do struggle. Ronnie Daniel, what's good, fellas? What's good, Ronnie? 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Aaron Jones, Ramondre, Zonovan, love to see that. Pacheco, love that. Rashad White, Olave, Amon-Ra, Devonta, Christian Watson, Pickens.
Let's go. It's all you, RD.
Let's go with Ramondre.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Aaron Jones. Love Aaron Jones this week in Chicago. This feels like another Aaron Jones goes nuclear for 35.
Yeah.
And
there.
2 wide receivers are going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And Christian Watson.
Oh, you have Watson over Smitty and Olave? Interessante.
And then at flex, I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco.
I'm with you on the running backs. And then I will go Amon-Ra, Olave, and Devonta Smith.
Actually, no, I'm going to change that. I'm going to go Rachaad White. Sorry. That's what I'm going to do. Rachaad White. Yeah, Rachaad White. Pacheco could very much be in a similar situation to some of these other running backs where they just throw the ball. And Andy Reid would have a major, because he hates running the ball.
A major what?
Nightlife first with $5. Appreciate you. Burks, Kyron, Knight, or Lat Murray at flex. Say it. I know what I'm going to say.
You're not saying Zonovan Knight, are you?
Oh yeah, I am.
Even if Carter plays?
Yeah. I think I see Carter more as going to be put. He looked really good, and they talked about it afterwards. Said that he's earned the right for more playing time, and I think he did. And I think he's good, and I think he's better than maybe any running back that's on the roster right now. Obviously not Breece Hall, but that's available to play. James Robinson looks like dust. He's complaining because they're not giving me the ball. But when you look terrible, and so it's like Lat Murray, I think, is another interesting option, but it's Zonovan Knight. I like Zonovan Knight. Like I do. Like I'm not just jumping into the mix here. I think he makes a lot of sense. And oh man, if Rachaad White is out, or not Rachaad White, Michael Carter is out, he's definitely going to be the pass catching back too, because he's a really good pass catcher out of the backfield. So I am going to go Zonovan Knight.
I'm going to go Kyron Williams. It's like that's a team that's going to be playing from behind. They are 7.5-point home dogs to the Seahawks, which if you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, like that's definitely something I did not see coming. Kyron Williams has been getting all of the pass catching work. He's been starting to get involved in the running game as well. Seahawks giving up the third most PPR points per game to running backs. Then DVOA, they're a bit better, middle of the road when it comes to rush DVOA, but that's a team that has kind of defensively lived and died by turnovers. Been giving up, I think they're top 6, top 7 in terms of yards per play. They're giving up points. I'm going to go Kyron Williams.
We'll see what happens. And by the way, in DFS, I'm playing Zonovan Knight. He's $4,600 on track. Excited.
I'm going to write this one down.
You should. We'll revisit. TN. The GOAT, the legend, the absolute stud that you are with the $100 super chat. Just the man. That's
What else do we say at this point?
Yeah, there is nothing else you can say. Just you're the man. Need 2 wide receivers at a flex.
Devontae probably just side note for people who don't drop in and don't know the legend of TN. They just see TN coming in here, dropping a hundo. Where it's like, yeah, thanks, man. Like we probably look like such assholes for the people who have no idea what's going on. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that.
He comes in here every week and does this, and we appreciate it every time. And it just makes it I don't know what else we could do. Maybe we need to call him something. We need to call him a dance or a song or something we could sing.
We do need something.
Something. Maybe we need a soundboard with a horn or something like that, or something for TN. But we're gonna come up with something.
Yeah, we need something.
So TN, I don't think you need us to tell you that you're going to start those first 2 bad mans and Devontae Adams and Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase sounds like he could have played last week, but they did the smart move and held him out for 1 week, and he is back He'll definitely be back for this game against the Chiefs. And so likely it's going to be one of the game of the year. I mean, this could be a really, really fun game this weekend between those two. And so it is definitely Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase.
That's Devonta Smith for me. Just going to live and die by him, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, it's because the other three options. I mean, Deontay, just sad. I actually, speaking of that, I was driving home today, and I was like, we're getting close to the season's over. Let me go back and listen to some of the videos I did in like August, and he was one of the guys I had on one of the lists I had of players to draft. I'm like, but I actually was really proud. I was really excited. I was really happy because I had a lot of hits, like a lot of hits, and I was like, okay, it wasn't so bad. I had a couple that weren't right. I had him. I had DJ Moore as middle round guys, but anyways, we're not here to talk about that. It's not a humble brag. So I think I would go Devonta Smith.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, he was the other one. I forgot about that. Yeah, he was another one. Man, that was something. But I had a lot of good ones though too. So
Ken, Michael Cotta, Algier, J-Rob, and a half PPR. Carter, J-Rob, Algier.
I think in this scenario, I would go Michael Carter just because I think he would still be involved in the passing game.
Yeah.
If he plays. If he doesn't, I'm going to go Algier. I'm not playing James Robinson.
Correct.
Edward. Yo, guys. Choose one to start this week. Full PPR, Kamara, Rashad White, or Swift. I'm going to go Rashad White. I don't mind Kamara this week. He's somebody that I actually talked about in my running back video, but it was more of I'm not really excited about Alvin Kamara than anything. The Bucks are still one of the better run defenses in the league. So yeah, they are 14th in rush DVOA on the year, but they are 6th over the last 4 games. They have allowed the 4th fewest touchdowns and the 4th fewest fantasy points to running backs on the year. They've done a really good job of limiting opposing running backs. He has to get there through the air. He doesn't score touchdowns. He only has 3 touchdowns on the year, and he did that in only 1 game. So all the other games, he did nothing in terms of touchdowns. And so it's just limited because this offense is so anemic. And so it's not him. Like, he's actually been really good in terms of every efficiency metric you look at for him. It's not him. He is 6th in yards per route run, 9th in yards created per touch. But when you're not scoring any touchdowns, he only has 17 red zone touches all year, 2 goal line carries. That's it. He's just not getting any opportunities. And so as hard as it is, and he is somebody that could go off at any moment because of how good he is. But I would go Rashad White there. It's just so hard to trust him.
God.
And I'm sure he'll go off for 25 because that's the way this works. I think so. To me, I think Alvin Kamara is the better floor, and to me. But I still think Rashad White is probably the safer pick. Because the Saints have really struggled over the last 4 games. They are 26th in rush DVOA over the last 4 games. They have really struggled against opposing running backs. So,
man, I really want to say Swift.
Oh, Swift. I did not see that one. I did not feel that was the one that was coming.
Just like you were saying, like it's not a fantastic match. I know, you were just saying the Saints have not been great over the past 4 weeks, but this Bucks offensive line is now decimated with injuries and people that left, retired.
Well, I think what interests me the most with him is I think his pass catching, right? And we saw him have 9 catches last week. Um, and so yeah, it's not obviously not good for Tristan Wirfs, who's going to be out for 3 to 4 games, but I don't know.
I'm gonna go with White as well, but feeling Swift down in my plums.
Well, hey, drop him on the table, bud. Let him know. Go Swift.
Man, I forget. I don't have to try and find the clip. I think it was after a college football game. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna mess this all up because I can't remember any of the context that goes along with it. But basically, the line that was dropped was like, sometimes you just gotta drop your nuts. And what someone's on the defense. Awful story. Let's keep moving. Itty bitty South City 650. What's good, fellas? Have PPR. Jefferson, Kirk, Watson, Moore, Saquon, Rashad White, Kyron, Warren, Knight, J.K. We need 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex for a must win. So we can't fuck this up, Kev. Let's start with the wide receivers. Obviously, Jefferson is a lock. Then we're looking at Kirk, Watson, and Moore. I'm not fucking with Moore. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at Elijah Moore after what he did last week. It really wasn't that great. He just finally did something. He only had 2 targets, only played 35% of the snaps. It's going to be Jefferson and Kirk for me at wide receiver. Running back, locking in Saquon. Then Rashad White. And then who do you like here at the flex?
Christian Watson.
Okay. Watson for me as well. Aquaman. 1 flex. Pickens, Pittman, Boyd.
Michael Pittman.
Pittman for me as well. Got Jasmine back on the show. Good to see Jasmine back here. RBs and wide receivers. Do we have any changes? Look at Henry Stevenson, Cooper, Higgins, and then flexes Wilson on the bench. We got, oh boy, got some options here on the bench. Walker, Evans, Kirk. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well, Jasmine. Thank you.
I think I'd leave it the way that you got it. I think. And by the way, this is a really nice roster. I have to imagine that you're in a very nice spot in your league with this team that you have here. Can't imagine this is a must win for you. But I don't know. I think that you know what?
I'm gonna put Walker at the flex.
Really? Okay. That's an interesting. Because I was actually thinking Christian Kirk. Just because this is such a terrific matchup. So Detroit has been better against the run in recent weeks, like I was saying, but they have still been really, really bad against the pass. And I know Christian Kirk didn't come through for people because they decided to give Zay Jones an absurd amount of targets, but he still was targeted 9 times, still found the end zone. So he was still a pretty solid option last week. Or no, he didn't find the end zone. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. But he's 4 catches, 46 yards. Obviously not great, not what you're looking for. But before that, I mean, he's still been one of their best wide receivers for the most part this year. Still sees a lot of targets. And like I said, the game script for this game is fantastic. The Lions have the 4th highest applied point total on this week. And then the Jaguars are right behind them, only a half point behind them. So this has one of the highest totals on the slate. Only the Chiefs game has a higher. The Chiefs Bengals has 52.5 point total, and the Lions Jags has a 51.5 point total. So the totals here, like I said, this profiles as a back and forth game. We have talked about the Lions, especially playing in Detroit, has been absolute just money. Just stack the game, pure money that comes from this game because on the season the team totals for this game average 62 points per game inside Detroit, and so. This game looks no different to me. So I really want to try to get the pass catchers in here if I can. And so that's why I think I just lean towards Christian Kirk.
Yeah, that all makes sense. I'm also fine completely leaving this exactly how you have it, Jasmine.
Yeah,
So
I
if
have
you
Garrett Wilson, like,
yeah,
just behind,
yeah,
just behind them. So, uh, and, just behind Christian Kirk. And I think there's a case for, Kenneth Walker too, but I just think matchup, everything else plays a little bit better for Christian Kirk. So I think I would actually lean Christian Kirk.
Crip, another one. Flex, full PPR. Watson, Pierce, Olave, Evans, or Lat Murr. Starting Barkley and Monty. Thanks. I don't know if Lattimore's going to play, so I don't know if that matters, Crip. I still think Lattimore could potentially be another week out. He didn't sound necessarily close to playing last week from what I remember. But in the flex here, is this a Damian Pierce bounce back week?
I don't know. Like, I went back and forth on that. Like, matchup is as good as you could ask for. Where last week was completely different. Miami has been pretty good against the run. Cleveland has been dreadful. They are 32nd in rush DVOA on the year, and they're also 32nd in the last 4 games. Like, they have just been really, really bad against opposing running backs. But if game script gets out of hand, and with Sean Watson coming back, he's going to be fired up to play in this game. Um, it could go so many different directions, and so he is so hard to trust. It's not him. Again, he's a lot like, when I've talked about like Alvin Kamara, like efficiency wise, he's been excellent. But if they get down again very quickly, like we saw Miami in the Miami game, he's kind of useless. That's why he's scored less than 5 fantasy points each of the last 2 weeks. He's super intriguing. Like, I could see him scoring 20, and I could also see him scoring 3. Where I feel a little bit better about Monty, though it wouldn't surprise me if the Packers just throttled the Bears, because you know, Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears.
So
But
you
I think
throw it
it's
in
best.
here?
So I think I would keep it Barkley and Monty.
But we need
The way
we
he
need
has it. I
flex.
know he needs a flex, but I'm just
Okay.
saying I would keep it the way those two are. And then I would go with Mike Evans.
Yeah, I'm going Evans there as well. I want to say Pierce, but I'm sticking with Evans. Hawk or Patty Fry here for Bob McD. I'm gonna go Hawk.
I'm gonna go Patty Fry.
As is tradition.
I don't mind it. If you want to go with Hawkinson, I think you could certainly do that. I just have Freiermuth at tight end 4, and I have Hawkinson at 5, so they're neck and neck. So I have no qualms if you want to go TJ Hawkinson.
Andrea needs 2 Olave, Christian Watson, Palmer, and PPR.
If Mike Williams is out, I'm going to go Palmer
Mm-hmm.
and Christian Watson.
Agreed. I still like Palmer, even if Mike Williams plays, but I would not play. I would not play Palmer over those 2 options if he does. Njoku, Jacoby, or London have PPR for Ken McCarthy.
I'm going to go with Jacoby. I like Njoku. Good matchup against Houston. It's just, I want to see how things are going to shake out here, who he's going to target, how this is going to work, with Deshaun Watson. We know that Jacoby Brissett loves targeting his tight ends. And so it's going to be something that I would like to pay attention to over the next couple of weeks, how Deshaun Watson, utilizes Njoku. But yeah, I'm going to go Jacoby.
Go for me as well. Last fish. Still trying to be that last fish in the pond here in the Survivor League. We have Green Bay, Atlanta, Chargers, Phillies, or Bucks. Already used Dallas, Vikings, Ravens, Seahawks, and the Browns.
Man,
Not the Falcons.
no.
I don't want to use Philly in that spot. Just because I'm always wrong on the Titans. Like the Titans are a team that I'm never fucking right on.
I kind of feel the same way about the Chargers. Like the Raiders have played really good this year. It's just they've really struggled in key moments of games. Most games they play in are one possession games that they end up losing. I don't love going the Chargers there. The Falcons, I'm not. I think Steelers win that game anyway.
Yeah.
So then it comes down to the Bucks and the Packers. I'm going Green Bay. I know maybe you don't want to use them, but Green Bay hasn't played well. I think they're still a good pick. You can get out of the way there. I'm invested in this just as much. We've come this far with last fish in the pond. We got to take this home.
Yeah.
At this point, and none of these are I don't think any of these options that we have here are just slam dunk that you just feel super safe with. But the Packers, I think, feel like the best option. They are 4-point favorites, bet up to a 4.5-point favorite right now. You look at some of the other games, we have the Eagles, they're only 2-point favorites. Oh, excuse me. They opened at a 2-point favorite. It is up to a 5.5-point favorite. And then what's the other one? The Chargers. That game is almost a pick 'em at a 1 point. And then you have the Bucks, who are way down here, surprisingly. They are only a 4-point favorite. Open up at 6.5. It is already down to a 4. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Packers.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think. How do you feel about Baltimore? I don't know if Fish has used Baltimore or not, but home game against the Broncos. Trying to look around here a little bit just because.
Yeah, he said he already used Dallas, Vikings, Ravens, Seahawks.
Okay. Was Baltimore on there?
That the Baltimore Ravens, yeah.
Okay. Man, yeah, don't. I'm gonna go Green Bay as well. Not loving those options. Let's go with Green Bay Fish. Hope to see you back here next week. I have three teams out of my nine or 10 that I feel pretty good about. Last year was an awful year for me.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Plus ROI on I finished second in a DraftKings tournament a couple weeks ago. Got $5,000. That was awesome from that. So that was very successful. And then the bane of me, this keeper league that I'm in, my home league, started out great. I was 5-2, and then a couple of bad decisions with some start sits that I wish I would have went with. Like last week, I wish I would have went with Isaiah Pacheco instead of Dameon Pierce, but we're third place, so still in a good spot to make the playoffs. Just have to win the next two. So, but yeah, it's been a pretty good year. SFB, I am and still in the playoffs, and that and the Scott Fish Bowl. People are familiar with that. And then I'm also my best ball teams. I am still in first place in all of them but one, and I'm in second in that I made. So that's looking promising.
Nice. Jay, eggs. Trevor Lawrence over Tua this week.
That's interesting. Though I still would go Tua.
Yeah.
I like Trevor Lawrence. Have him as a QB1, but I would still go Tua.
Still rocking with Tua there as well. Another quarterback question. This one from Emilio, Dak or Lamar.
I think you still have to go Lamar. I know this isn't a great matchup against Denver. Denver's defense has actually been really good. But Lamar's rushing ability just makes him such a safer play. I mean, he only has 3 games all year that he hasn't been a QB1. I put up a QB1 week. Where the Cowboys, if you let them, they will run all over you and be more balanced. So, yeah, I'm going to go Lamar.
Lamar by a smidge. 3 quarterback questions back to back. NASCAR Fantasy Live. Brady or Jimmy G?
I'm going to go Brady.
I'm going Jimmy G. Give me Jimmy G. Like this, the way this matchup sets up. We have obviously Elijah Mitchell out, CMC hobbled. Looking at Jordan Mason, Tevin Coleman coming off of the practice squad. Dolphins are a pass funnel. Going James Garoppolo on this one. Patty Fry or Njoku? I'm going to go Patty Fry.
Agreed.
Jalen Warren over Pacheco if Najee is out.
Yeah, I would.
Man, I don't think I'd have the cojones to do that. I know the matchup obviously sets up better for Warren than it does with Pacheco, but it's just too hard for me to trust that Steelers team. I think they do come away with the win, but just give me the better offense. Truth. Need to win big time this week. Defense question. I got Philly, picked up Tampa. Who are we starting?
I would go Tampa.
I think you have the better shot at turnovers with Tampa.
Yeah, just
I like Philly better as a whole, but I think you have a better shot at defensive fantasy points with Tampa. FY got the Yanger with us. T-Law or Gino?
This one I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence.
Man. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence as well. It's really close, though. That is close. And then Jets D or Bills D rest of season.
Let me see what they got left. So they got Minnesota at Buffalo, and then they go Detroit, Jacksonville at Seattle is their remaining schedule. And you have Buffalo. Well, no, still has Cincinnati. So they have New England, obviously the Jets, Miami, at Chicago, and then at Cincinnati in the fantasy championship week. I think I would go with the Jets, especially with Von Miller. I know it's not as bad of an injury as what it was looking like, but without him, that is going to be a problem. They're missing some of their other key defensive players. They've still been a really good they still been a pretty solid defense, but I think I would lean towards the Jets in their remaining schedule.
Makes sense. NASCAR. Would you make Zonovan Knight, Van Jefferson, Brownsy, or Steelers the number one priority in waivers with having guys like Jacobs, Mixon, Pittman, J.J. Burks, Kyron, and Myers?
I'm never going to make a defense a number one waiver priority, so it's always going to be I'm going to go with Zonovan Knight. Even if I desperately needed a defense, I still would go Zonovan Knight.
Yeah. I mean, I know the Browns are playing Houston, but the Browns haven't exactly been a great defense this year. Same with Steelers. Like they're getting better, but they're still not getting a bunch of turnovers or anything like that. So it's not like you're looking at like someone dropped the Eagles or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Is this where? Are you going to lose the number one priority NASCAR if you use this, or you just have the worst team in the league and you have the top priority? If you would lose your number one priority, I would not use it on any of these guys personally. Other league got Kamara, picked up Gus Edwards. Who are you starting? Nervous about Kamara. Swift as a flex spot. Got Patty Fry on the bench. Kelsey's tight end. Numero uno. Still going to go Kamara there over Gus Edwards.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I mean, there's not a ton of correlation between those two anyway. Kamara can get there, and Tampa Bay's defense can still be a really good play. Andy Dalton throws a pick six. There's all different kinds of things that can happen. Sacks. They're missing a ton of pieces along their offensive line as well. The Saints are, which hasn't helped them. I think 3 of their starting offensive linemen have been out, and so, yeah, I would go that.
Fournette. If Fournette plays, White or Murray?
Still White.
Yeah, still going Rachaad White. What is that? What's that Avi from? Is that from like Mad TV? Ghost Art. If you're still with us, was that from Mad TV back in the day? That's super familiar, but I can't place it. Let me know if you're still here. Big Papa Pump does do it big. Abito, Despair, Connor, Pollard rest of the season.
Pollard.
It's going to be Connor for me. If Zeke were out, it's 100% Pollard, but I'm going to go Connor by a smidge.
Just the disrespect.
Talk to your boy Jerry Jones about it. Don't come at me for this. We do need a TN money dance.
I mean, it's going to be bad because we're both white, and I'm not going to speak for you, but for myself, highly uncoordinated. And so, but if you're into I come up with something. I have, hey, it's worth it.
Yeah, we do need to come up with something. We'll have to brainstorm and come up with something. The only time you'll ever see me on a dance floor is heavily inebriated at weddings. That's the only time.
Well, that's usually like when you think that that's like you're you're doing something well, but you're probably really just standing there just kind of go like this, But in your head, you're like, man, I'm fucking getting after it, bro. Like just
killing it right now.
the ultimate white guy dance of just, and completely offbeat, not like, but everything feels right to you, but you're not. So, yeah.
Justin, looking at Sanders, Rashad, Pierce, Pacheco, full PPR. We need one here.
Going Rashad again. Rashad White. Love Rashad White. I think Dameon Pierce has the best matchup of all of them, but he's the hardest to trust right now with the way things are going. It doesn't mean he can't turn around. He definitely can. Like I said, he's been really good. It's not him. It's his team and his really bad offensive line. But it's possible that Deshaun Watson comes out and he hasn't played in almost 2 years, maybe a little rusty, kind of like what we saw with the Russell Wilson type thing in his first game back, in Denver or in Seattle, week 1. Could be a very similar situation here for Deshaun Watson. I'm sure there's some people there that he probably didn't make, he probably made some innings with. So I would expect this this Texans team to be up and ready to go. The fans are probably going to come ready to go as well, because I do believe this game is in Tennessee or in Houston, and so there's a lot of factors here that could change the way this game plays out.
If Lenny plays, I'm going to go Pierce, but if he doesn't, I'll ride with Rashad, Higgins, or Cooper.
This is gonna be Cooper for me.
I'm going to go Higgins, but it's really close. Like you said, there's just so much up in the air with Watson. No, obviously Higgins is in a good spot. It's not like we're dropping from, Amari Cooper to, George Pickens or something like that. So
he is in a good spot. I have Amari Cooper at wide receiver 10, and I have T. Higgins at wide receiver 18. I just think with Jamar Chase coming back, it kind of knocks him down a little bit back into kind of being that wide receiver 2, where he can be a little more volatile with Jamar Chase back. And so I think Amari Cooper is the way I would go.
I just realized I skipped over this one. Tyrion Davis-Price or Jordan Mason, the backup for CMC.
I think it's probably.
I picked up Mason personally.
I think I would agree. I think it's probably him. But it's 49ers, so who the fuck knows?
Gluck guy, I will be completely honest, I haven't looked.
So the Chiefs are in a good spot. Like, this isn't the week you want to play them, but after this week, it is pretty nice. So you get in the fantasy championship, you get Denver. Week 15, they play at Houston, which I don't care whether it's at Kansas City or at on the road. So the rest of season after Cincinnati, they get at Denver, elite matchup. You get at Houston the following week, week 15. You get Seattle, which is still not a bad matchup. And then you get week 17 against Denver. Like, they have a very, very favorable ending schedule here for the fantasy playoffs. So, yes, they are a very good stash defense right now.
Got some start sits here for Alejandro. Hurts, Cook, KW3, T. Myers, Juan Swift on the bench. We're looking at DK, Juju, Kirk, CPAT, Foreman, Fields, White, and then we have some waiver options as well. I'm going to go DK, Juju, and T. So I'm going to take out Myers and Swift. So I'm going to plug in DK and Juju, and then flex T. Higgins, and put Myers on the bench.
Yeah, and in terms of the waivers that you got here, I would actually drop Cordell Patterson, Justin Fields, and maybe even Foreman. But I definitely would drop CPAT and Fields and add Pacheco and Christian Watson. But I would also maybe consider also doing Foreman and then picking up either George Pickens or Kyron Williams. I think those are all better options.
Yeah, I'm with you on the first two.
And
And
the
sorry,
only
go ahead.
other one I was going to say is possibly dropping Juwan Johnson too and picking up Foster Moreau.
Yeah, I skipped over. I did not see that one. I'm with you. I would do that as well. Then another one here: T-Law, Eckler, Chubb, Keenan, Lockett, Komet, and Pierce on the bench. We have Kirk, Cook, Juju, Pollard, Davis, White, Watson, and then some more waiver options here as well. Playing Christian Kirk over Lockett. And then I'll play Juju over Pierce in the flex. Man. And we have Dalvin just chilling there. Got Dalvin just chilling there. What do we do? What do we do about that? Wow. You're muted. Amateur hour.
What is this, amateur hour? I would not play Lockett. I would play Juju. And then I think I would still probably go Dalvin Cook in the flex. I love Tony Pollard every week because his just potential to boom. But I'm still going to go Dalvin Cook over him. Juju I really like as well. I have Juju as a top 12 wide receiver this week, actually. But I would still I can't sit Dalvin Cook. I do have Dalvin Cook ranked 10th, which is a little lower than normal, but I would go Dalvin Cook.
CB, starting Higgins and Monroe, Chubb, and Stevenson. Need one flex and a PPR with Lamb, Lockett, Pierce, Walker, Mixon if he plays. Man.
So it comes down, it's either CeeDee Lamb or Joe Mixon. And the fact that he returned to practice this week, he's going to play this week. I would be surprised if he doesn't. The fact that he's already back on Wednesday, I think Joe Mixon plays.
No love for Walker there?
I have Mixon ahead of Walker, I do believe.
Okay.
Or no, take that back. I have Walker ahead. Just one spot. I have Walker at 8, Mixon at 9. It's just tough. But
Gonna go.
I'm gonna go CD here.
Yeah. I'm with you. Let's ride together. One more here from Alejandro. Hurts, Eckler, Chubb, Evans, Lockett, Jawan, Ramondre. On the bench, we got Algier, Monty, B-Rob, Singletary, Campbell, Pickens, Devonta, and then waiver options once again. Now, on this one, I don't think I'm changing anything.
No, I would love to try to get Knight, but I was trying to see what options you have, and I don't think you really have anybody that I would just want to drop for him.
Yeah.
Maybe Paris Campbell. I think you could possibly look at, but yeah, if you want to make a move, I think it would be I would look at Zonovan Knight for Paris Campbell.
Okay. That really trip me out there for a second. I'm assuming these are two different questions. So Cousins or Watson?
I'm gonna go
I'm going to go
Watson.
not Watson on either of these.
I would go Watson and Watson. I think I would go Watson on both.
Okay. Sorry, TX, we could not help you. So Tober, Jamal Williams, Rashad White, Kirk, DPJ, or Devonta Smith?
Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk it is. And with that question from TX comes this timely question from the Shepherd. How high on your list is Deshaun Watson this week? I did not look at any quarterback rankings, to be completely honest. I picked up Watson in a guillotine league in a super flex, but I am not starting him this week. I'm starting Burrow and Tua ahead of him.
I have Watson at QB7.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would just come down to me to who else you have. I kind of want to see it for 1 week first. Eggs. Trying to. Let's see here. Patty Fry and Joku. Oh, Trevor Lawrence over Tua. I personally wouldn't hold two quarterbacks.
Especially not when you have Tua and as good as he's been this
Yeah.
year. I don't think you need him. Yeah, I would rather go with a different option.
Walker, Kamara, or White?
This is Walker.
Walker. Mike Williams or Jacoby?
So this is the way I would play this because you're at least going to know something. If Mike Williams doesn't practice again tomorrow, he didn't practice today, which isn't surprising. But if he doesn't practice again tomorrow, I'm just plugging in Jacoby Myers.
I mean, if he's limited, does that make you feel any better? I think I would just go Jacoby regardless.
It's probably
Palmer's
the
been
smarter
playing-
move, yeah. But I just with Mike Williams, he didn't practice again today. He didn't practice at all last week. I don't think they rush him back at all. He came back the last time, played a couple snaps, re-injured his high ankle sprain. Even though they said it wasn't as bad, I still don't think they're going to do anything to rush him back. They think they want him back 100%, and you don't have the luxury to waste. So unless he comes back as a full participant or something like that tomorrow, or we get reports that he's trending towards playing, then yeah, you can hold on and go with Mike Williams. If not, I just plug in Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby for me. Rashad White or Gus?
Rashad White.
Rashad White for me as well. You want to grab that from Walito? There he is.
Walito. Walito, I appreciate you with the $10 super chat. What's up, TFA? What's up? Walito. But need you in the chat a little bit more, okay? You're supposed to be we appreciate it, but moderator, Walito, you rock with us, in the DFS, which, by the way, D-Bro is going to be on tomorrow, Walito, for the DFS show tomorrow night. So it's actually me and D-Bro. Maddie is going to, lucky son of a bitch, he won the King of the Beach. So he's actually, DraftKings flying him out to San Diego, and they compete in the King of the Beach tomorrow, or this weekend. So he'll be out there. They put you up at a hotel. They give you all these food. They have these parties you go to. Like it's legit. And so you get a seat in the King of the Beach. And so he won it. He qualified, I think it was last week. No, it was 2 weeks ago. Whenever I took down mine, he did the same on that day. So this weekend is King of the Beach. So he'll be flying out. Him and his brother this weekend. So it's pretty cool.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walito, I had to make my own note. We have a Zonovan Knight versus Kyron Williams on the board for this week. So we appreciate you, but let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Blurpy. Should I trade Olave and Pacheco for Mike Evans and Judy? Redraft PPR, have Kamara 2, and need wide receiver depth for the playoffs just in case. Only wide receiver. Then he says my only wide receivers are D Hop and Monroe and Olave.
That's still a pretty solid group.
Yeah.
Like Judy doesn't really mean much to me because of how bad the Broncos offense has been.
Yeah.
And so it's really, it would just be like you're getting Mike Evans. And like I said, Mike Evans has been really volatile as well. Like hasn't really been that good this year at all. So I don't think I make that move. And like with the way the Chiefs schedule breaks after this week, like there's nobody else that's going to push them to really force them to throw the ball a ton. So we really could be seeing a lot of Pacheco over the next over the run over the last, 4 weeks of the season past this week. So I don't really want to move on from Isaiah Pacheco.
Blurpy, what other running backs do you have? Is like Kamara the only one worth mentioning? Because if that's the case, I definitely don't want to send Pacheco away. Let us know.
Travis. Or is there maybe a better trade that you could find? Because I do think Pacheco has some value right now, especially what he's done the last couple of weeks. And then, Olave has been great, but neither of those other two guys, like it just, I don't love either one of those two that you're getting. Like I said, like Judy is whatever, and I get it. You may need some depth piece for your wide receivers, but I just feel like there's maybe some better options that you could go after and not Mike Evans.
Yeah.
He has Kamara, Henry, ETN, and Dalvin Cook. Okay, so yeah, he's probably never going to start Isaiah Pacheco. So that does make a little bit of sense. Now you see all those guys, unless just a bunch of injuries come his way. But I still think that you could get a better wide receiver option, though. Would be what I would look to do, because I just don't love Mike Evans or Jerry Judy. Let me look real quick at the wide receiver. We can go to the next one, and I will kind of see if there's a couple names that strike me that I think maybe better option you could try to go after. Oh, he has 9 minutes to do it. You know what? Fuck it. Let it ride. Let's do it. You're not really gonna be able to figure anything else out. You're never gonna need Pacheco. So really, to me, it's Olave. Would you do Olave for Mike Evans? I probably would. And so I think you just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis Unlimited. Need a flex, Gabe Davis, Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, or Mixon if he plays. Mixon if he plays, or KA if he does not.
Yeah, it's going to be Mixon. Yeah. Yep. I like that.
Enrique rocking with us again. Aaron Donald ruled out for the Seattle game. Should I start Walker over JT?
I would still go JT.
I sat JT earlier. Can't go back on my word now, so I would go Walker. Favorite pizza joint? And Ashton, how are you doing in your leagues, by the way?
I think that has to be like a national chain, right? Because it would be no point in me saying like local place here, right? If you're from around here, Minsky's would probably be the one that most people would know is probably the best. But that's not a national chain. So I think it has to be a national chain.
Back home, there was a gas station that made a bunch of food, and their pizzas fucking was the tits. So that would be mine that literally nobody would know, especially from my small town. Favorite? I go Papa John's. This is my favorite.
I'd probably agree. I know a lot of people. That's like, I don't know. It's like either you love them or hate them, and I think most people feel that way about all of them. I will say this. Like Little Caesars, they have this. What is it called? Banzaroni or something. Like, it's such a terrible name. Like, can you just call it a pizza? Like it's something, but it is really good, and it's not that expensive. Like, you want just a run up there, at lunch or whatever, and grab it. It's a large pizza. It's like $9.99 or something. It's actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. So I was pleasantly surprised by that, but it'd probably be Papa John's. I don't mind Pizza Hut. They're probably a second, but I don't know.
Pizza Hut just runs right through me. Just instant shits.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be Domino's.
Yeah, I don't mind Domino's either. I don't know. I'm not a huge like if I don't have to have any of the big chains, I won't. But if I had to choose, it's Papa John's, and then yeah, it's probably somewhere around there. But yeah, I love the random questions. It's probably my. I get excited every time I see them.
Yeah, they're definitely welcomed. A nice breakup. I like seeing what you guys have to say with these as well. Slayer, Angel of Death, Pollard or Rashawn White.
I'm gonna go Pollard here. I'm gonna go Steelers with this one.
Steelers, yeah. Maria. I have Justin Fields, Geno Smith, and Deshaun Watson. I feel like I'm going to pick up Trevor Lawrence. If Justin Fields plays, should I play him, Watson, or Trevor Lawrence?
Maria, if this is a single quarterback league, like you could only start one quarterback, we need to drop some of these quarterbacks. You have a quarterback problem. We need to talk about it. We don't need this many quarterbacks. Now, if it's 2 quarterbacks, let's change it. Then I will take everything back I just said. But if it's 1, we don't need all these quarterbacks. I think at this point, if you have Deshaun Watson, you've probably been holding him for a little bit. I would probably just hold on to him. Like his ceiling is still really high. He's still a really good, obviously quarterback. It might take him a week or 2, but he has been practicing for the last 3 weeks, so it's not like he's just coming in cold. So he has been, being ramped up and everything else. This will be his first game action, but I would probably just hold on to him. Justin Fields, we've talked about. I think you can probably drop Justin Fields at this point. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Because then you have Geno. I think he's been fine. He's been solid, but like he doesn't come with a lot of pure upside. And then Trevor Lawrence has been really good, but he's still like a low end QB1. I don't think you need him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if this is a single quarterback league, I'm probably just dropping everybody but Watson. Honestly.
Yeah, probably. I don't mind, like, if you want to go through and look at, like, schedules. Like, at this point of the year, I don't mind if you want to have a second quarterback, like, especially once you get to playoffs. Like, hey, the second round of the playoffs, for the first round, one quarterback has a great matchup. I want to go with him. And then the next round, this other quarterback has a great matchup. I don't mind doing that because, like, at that point, you're just trying to, advance, right? So I don't mind doing it like that. But for the most part, we don't want to hold all these quarterbacks when you could be adding other spots. I'm assuming it's not a 2 quarterback league because if it was, I can't imagine Trevor Lawrence would be available. Right. So it's got to be a single quarterback league. And if it is, I don't think you need all these quarterbacks.
Agreed. Maria, let us know. Well, 1, if it is a 1 quarterback league, and then 2, let us know some of the waiver options you have out there so we can help you make some moves here. D. Linney. I don't think we really need. Well, Chase seems like he's going to play. Etienne should be good to go. He was cleared to return, but didn't. Kev, that one was stuck in your craw. CMC probably going to play, but might not have the same amount of touches. His snap share didn't really change all that much. Did I miss something with Juju?
No, he's playing. He was limited last week because of. So the Chiefs went very vanilla last week in their game plan. Like there was nothing that they weren't going to do anything really crazy. It was they were kind of limiting. They limited Juju. There was they just kind of want to get him out there, get a limited game action. Have him take a couple of hits, but so yeah.
Then we got Rock Out rocking with us. Appreciate the super chat. PPR 2 running back 2 flex between Kamara, Swift, B-Rob, Pacheco, and Zay.
I'm going to go Kamara, Pacheco. Zay Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And Swift.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm also realizing we are quite a bit behind and the questions starting to stack up, so I'm going to a little rapid fire here. DJ Moore or Slayton rest of season?
DJ Moore. And of course, just like I talked about last week, I just laughed because just like I talked about with Darnold, he's a much better wide receiver. He plays so much better, he gets more targets. And what did he do last week? Had a big game. He had over 100 yards and a score. Yeah.
Need a wide receiver 2 in case Mike Will doesn't play. Zay Jones, Palmer, Thielen, or Samuel. That is going to be Josh Palmer for the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby or Campbell. I'm going to go Jacoby.
Agreed.
Juju, Boyd, Pickens. I'm assuming that's Juju for both of us.
Yep.
And we got the chat is going back and forth a lot here too. 93 record, currently second place. Okay. Gotta get that brother to get the L.
I did just see really quick. Oh, there it is. Just want to say really quickly. Maria said it's one quarterback league. I have Najee, Travis Etienne, Saquon, and Kenneth Walker. I also have Godwin, St. Brown, and Pittman. Picked up Zay Jones and Wilson. My only problem is quarterback. It's a really nice roster.
It is.
I think at most, if you want to keep two, I would keep Deshaun Watson and I would keep Justin Fields. Let's just see what happens. I mean, there is possible Justin Fields could play. It says he's feeling better. He's day to day. Let's hold on to Justin Fields because of his, his rushing ability and all that stuff. And maybe the injury's not as bad as what they were initially saying. And so if he does play, I would really hate to drop him as good as he was playing prior to. And if he does run the same, so I think I would, at the very least for this week, I would still drop Geno Smith. I don't think you're going to regret that. You don't need Trevor Lawrence. You have Deshaun Watson. I think that matchup is really good for him. I would go with him, and then let's go with Justin. Hold Justin Fields just so he can see, because I would hate to drop him as good as he has been, because you didn't really have a quarterback problem prior to this past week because he was elite for well over a month. But yeah, I would think that's what I would do. I would drop the other two. You don't need 4 quarterbacks. Keep the 2 of them, and I think go from there.
Yeah. Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. The Booty Warrior is here. Everybody, everything's going to be fine. Would you play Mike Williams if he plays, him or Nico Collins or Mac Hollins in the flex?
Yeah, but if Mike Williams is playing, he gets full complement. He gets full practices. That I probably would. I think I would. I think I'd probably play Mike Williams with the other options you have, but I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah,
but you'll have time to find out. So if he doesn't, I'm going to go with
DeAndre Carter.
Did he say that was an option? I don't think he said that was an option.
It should be.
He said Nico Collins or Mac Hollins. I think I would go Mac Hollins on that one. Just feel a little bit better about the quarterback situation and everything else.
Hurst or Kmet?
Hurst.
Pats or Seattle's D?
Seattle.
Man, you guys are helping each other out. Love to see it. Mr. Put It in Reverse himself, Terry. The R is for reverse. Niners, Miami, or Cleveland's defense.
Cleveland.
Or wait, never mind. Niners or Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll go Cleveland. Still one of the better moments for this year. That's just the way that played out. It was perfect. Did not see it coming, and say this with put it reversed, Terry. That still gets me every time.
It was like 2 a.m.
It was really late. Yeah.
Yeah. DK or Jamal? I'm going to go DK.
Yeah.
Jamal or Snell? That's going to be Jamal.
Yeah.
Flippa. PPR, Sutton or Trey Burks?
I'm gonna go Treylon Burks.
I'm gonna go Sutton, but I don't love it. I
guess he's been fine the last 3 weeks. Cortland Sutton has 12.6, 13, and 13.
Completely matchup based. If I felt better about Burks' matchup, it would be Burks.
Yeah, I don't mind Sutton either. He has seen a lot of targets, 11, 7, and 8, obviously with no Jerry Jeudy.
Any concerns about Jacobs missing this week?
I don't think so. Like, it's odd to me because, he obviously played that whole entire game last week and then ripped off the 86-yard touchdown. It's possible if he came away, he's like sore or anything after the game or anything like that. But I don't think so. I would expect him to play. And this is another excellent matchup against the Chargers because the Chargers are so bad against the run.
Yeah. Sick Biz, CMC, or Chase at the flex. Already have Chubb and Jones at running backs. About to AJ Brown. That's going to be Chase.
Yeah, I would go Chase. Yeah, I have Chase at like wide receiver 3. Just I hate even thinking about sitting Christian McCaffrey, but this knee injury that he's dealing with, the Dolphins are actually really good against the run. Yeah, I would go Chase.
Rank some tight ends here for Alejandro: Hurst, Moreau, Komet, Conklin, and Jawan.
Foster, Moreau, Conklin, Hurst, Jawan, and then Komet.
Moreau, Jawan, Hurst, Conklin, Komet. Komet or Jawan Johnson?
Jawan Johnson.
Jawan. Penn State great. Jawan Johnson. Then he transferred to Oregon. Lamb or AJ Brown?
That's close.
It is close, but I'm going AJ Brown in the revenge game. Fantastic matchup.
Yeah, I'm gonna go AJ Brown.
Yang, Jeff Wilson, Waddle, Rashad White, Burks. We need one as a flex. Waddle and you waddle it back.
I'm gonna go with Waddle.
Or sit Garrett Wilson, start both Lamb and AJ Brown. Yes. Or do you like Garrett Wilson over Walker?
No,
I think we had that
I
earlier, right?
yeah, I think I would go with that. Yeah. Yeah, I would just sit Garrett Wilson, sadly enough.
TB, aloha to you. With Lamar nursing injury, is Deshaun Watson worth pickup and play?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think I would. Just provides a much better matchup.
Yeah. I think those two are God, Watson not playing for so long though. I get the matchup. Man. I think I'd still just stick with Lamar. But if you want to rock with Kev, I don't think it's not a terrible idea. I'm not completely opposed to it. Nah, definitely not starting those guys over Watson. I would still stick with Lamar, but like I said, if you want to risk it for the biscuit, I don't mind because it is a much better matchup. Just being out so long just worries me a touch.
Is this like inverse order that he's posting these? Because this that's the way he ranked him?
Yeah, I wasn't putting that up there to put Ashton on blast or anything. I thought there was a question there, and I realized quickly that there was not. The chat is helping each other out tonight. Making if I skip over anybody's question, we're about 10 minutes behind. If I skipped over anything, please just drop it in the bottom of the chat again. We'll make sure we get to it. D Lenny back with us this week in a must win and a half PPR. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a flex. Looking at JT, ETN, Chase, Palmer, Myers. Do I flex Kamara, Singletary, Deontay, or Claypool?
No.
Well, the answer has to be one of them. So I think we need a flex because we got the 2 running backs at JT ETN, 3 wide receivers of Chase Palmer Myers. So we need a flex.
Oh, then I would just go with Alvin Kamara.
But my body's telling me yeah. Kind of want to go, man. I want to say Singletary.
Oh, I can't do that. I mean, New England has been right there with Tennessee as one of the best run defenses in the league. They are over the last 4 games, they are second in rush DVOA. They have done a really good job against opposing running backs, and we just saw it. I mean, when they played the Vikings, I mean, they completely shut down Dalvin Cook. They have done a really good job, and Devin Singletary ain't doing it. They're gonna have to throw in that game. Though Chase Claypool has some appeal because Darnell Mooney, sadly, moment of silence for him. He is knocked out for the year.
Man, you guys are just going at it in the chat. Ingram or Jawan?
Juwan Johnson.
Give me Ingram. I'm going Evan Ingram.
I don't mind it. Like everything lines up. Like you said, we talked about. I love that game. It's just he has been pretty much useless, especially with the oncoming of Zay Jones seeing a lot of targets. You have obviously Chase Cook, Christian Kirk, and Jawan. I know Jawan wasn't great last week, but that was a really low scoring game. If you go back before just last week, Jawan Johnson 13.7, 15.4, 12.2. Then you had one down week and then 20.2. Like he's been really solid. And he's running a decent amount of routes. He's playing a lot of snaps. He's seeing a pretty healthy target share. Seeing a lot of red zone targets as well. So I just lean towards him.
Makes sense. I get it. Sober thoughts. I own Fields and Murray in one QB league. Should I stream this week or risk Fields?
Does he say at all what options there
are? Picked up Mike White on waivers.
Is there any other option besides Mike? Like Mike White played really well last week, and they have some good weapons. It's just I don't know if I'm going to expect him to do anywhere close to what he just did last week. That was also against the Bears. The Vikings' pass defense isn't really incredible either.
Not great. 27th in pass DVOA on the year, and the fourth most PPR points per game to wide receivers.
Yeah, they are 25th in pass DVOA the last 4 weeks, and we just saw them allow Mac Jones look like a functional NFL quarterback. So it is a really good matchup for Mike White. Like I don't mind going there. He said,
and sorry, I was just going to say the third most points per game to quarterbacks. Goff is available.
Though I will say Mike White and the Jets have a very low implied team total this week. It is one of the lowest on the slate. It is only at 20.75. And the total, is that open or yeah. So it has went up, but it's went off on the Minnesota side a little. Well, it's been up on for both, but it's opened at a 41.5. It is now up to a 44.5. So it has went up a little bit positive script or a positive movement there. But the Lions actually have the fourth highest total on the slate. He said Jared Goff was available.
Mm-hmm.
I would go Goff at home. If it was on the road, I would not go Goff. But at home, I'm going to go Jared Goff.
Yeah. Going Goff there as well. I mean, Ayuk, Watson, Waddle, AJ Brown, Chase got an offer for Chase and Watson for Etienne and Dak. I am not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not trading that for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially somebody as elite as Jamar Chase is. We're not talking about just like a wide receiver 2 or something in that move. You're talking about arguably the second or third best fantasy wide receiver for Dak Prescott, who's still kind of mid. I mean, he's okay. He's like a back end QB1. It's different if that was Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or somebody like that. It would be much more enticing. But like this, I can't. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, you would get some running back help with ETN, obviously, with only having Stevenson and Swift. But I'm not doing that.
But I think with the wide receivers that are there, like again, kind of I don't know if you necessarily need a quarterback, but if you really need, if you want to go try to acquire a quarterback, I'm probably going to try to go, especially that it's just where you are now. There's a lot of teams that are out of it. See what the teams that are out of it have, or that aren't look like they're going to make the playoffs. See if you can make it a little bit lesser of a trade that you don't have to give up Jamar Chase to do so. Because then your wide receivers are okay by doing that. You still have AJ Brown and Waddle, but there's a lot I think your wide receivers look so much better because I mean, Christian Watson's still going to be volatile. Jalen Waddle's been pretty volatile this year. He's either like goes off or I mean, AJ Brown's the same way for a lot of this year. So I know you probably could use another running back too, just by seeing it. With Stevenson, obviously, is great. Swift, is something to be desired. Still left there, but I just don't like trading for quarterbacks. And Jamar Chase for Travis Etienne, I do not think is a smart move straight up. Like they should be giving more than that. And you damn sure shouldn't be giving up Christian Watson in the trade either. Like Jamar Chase for Travis Etienne and Dak Prescott should suffice.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up Christian Watson as well in that. I mean, that's way too much. I would assume that people see that you don't have a quarterback and they're trying to fleece you a little bit to get you to take a quarterback. I would not do that.
Do not bend, do not break. I mean, with as many points as Watson has been putting up, people get excited about rookies too. I think you probably just throw him out on your trade block and say like, hey, you're looking to flip Watson for a running back and see what kind of offers you get. Like, I bet you could get someone pretty solid with how well he's been playing. Revorg. Thanks for the time. Thank you for joining us, Reborg. And if you are new to the channel, please hit us with a sub and a like. We are climbing. We are on our way to 4K. Appreciate all of you for rocking with us week in and week out. It is much appreciated. We're looking at a full PPR league here. Kev, 3 wide receivers. We need 2. Samuel, Gallup, Claypool, McKenzie, and Elijah Moore. Gambled with Moore last week. Wow. I would not have been able to do that, Reborn. Good for you. That's 2 targets, 2 catches. Paid off for you. Golly. Man. I'm going to go... Jeez. Man, this is rough. Every time I think I feel like I have an answer, I end up talking myself out of it. I think I'll take the gamble on McKenzie. Just coming from the Bill Belichickian school of thought that, they try and take out the best players. So obviously that's Diggs. I think he sees the majority of the attention. And I think they would just like be completely fine with McKenzie just picking up all that work underneath. So I'm going to go McKenzie. I really want to say Samuel, but he has just been largely phased out of this offense. I was looking at his targets earlier, and he had like 4 targets, exactly 4 targets for like 4 weeks in a row. Then he had 2, and last week I think he had 0. I'm going to go McKenzie and Gallup. Just give me the 2 best offenses.
I'm going to Gallup and Claypool. I don't mind McKenzie. If you want to go there, that's fine too. I just feel like it's a little bit chasing from last week. Did we get this? Did we see this?
Oh, we did not. Sorry, Rockout. He sent another one earlier. Derek Carr.
So I was looking at the playoff scheduling for for 15, 16, and 17, trying to see and I'll say this though, the Jets playoff schedule is very nice. It's Detroit, Jacksonville, and at Seattle. Pretty good.
That is pretty nice. That is pretty nice.
Like outside of But Detroit has a really nice schedule too. Obviously, with that same matchup against the Jets at Carolina and Chicago is Detroit's playoff schedule too. So like that's really solid. But yeah, and then Las Vegas, their playoff schedule is New England at Pittsburgh and then San Francisco. Not very good.
That is not very good.
So if you were just since you said backup and obviously you don't need a quarterback for this week, I would probably go Mike White, just based purely off of what that schedule looks like in the playoffs.
George Cook is safe to bench Mike Evans this week for Jamal Williams and my flex. Half PPR, so Lattimore is going to be active most likely. Usually shuts Evans down.
I'd still probably go Mike Evans over Jamal Williams. It's just Jamal Williams is so touchdown or bust.
Evans for me as well. How many points for Josh Allen? I'm going to say 24.6.
That's pretty. I like that. I'm gonna go.
I'm writing this
28.4.
Writing this one down. I'm gonna see if I can remember this for tomorrow. Our man Tam, Penn State great Robbie Gould, or Jason Myers.
I'm gonna go Jason Myers here.
I'll go Jason Myers as well. Kells. Good to see Kells in here. I feel like I haven't seen Kells deuce for a while. Would you drop Van Jefferson for Elijah Moore?
Yeah, I think I would. Probably a little bit better offense. Now, they did come out today. I guess Matt Stafford's not done for the year. Maybe? Question mark. I don't know what they're doing there, but it's still not a good situation, even if Stafford plays. I mean, yes, Van Jefferson is the only target now in town with Allen Robinson also being shut down for the season. No Cooper Kupp. He's done for the year too. So I would probably just lean towards Elijah Moore. I think he just is in a little bit better spot. I think it's possible Elijah Moore continues to get more involved in this offense, more ramped up. He has a really good rapport with Mike White from last year too. So I think I would rather just have Elijah Moore than Van Jefferson. Yeah. And yes, I think Matt Collins is a hold. I think it's with all the injuries they have to their wide receivers, I think he's in a good spot.
And we need two here for Tam, Pickett, Geno, Brissett, or Cousins.
So Tam, only three.
Yeah. With Watson coming back, you can drop Brissett, Tam, and that is going to be Geno and Cousins for me.
Yeah, though I will say, Kenny Pickett has looked a little bit better the last few weeks. Still has kind of a noodle arm, but he's been, he shows off some of that athleticism a little bit.
I just want to see him fail. Ibrahim this week feels if he plays Deshaun Watson or Geno.
I'm going to go Watson.
I'm going to go Geno.
All right, Geno is an option. Yeah, I'm definitely playing Watson over Geno. I mean, because I very well could see Geno throw the ball 15 times in that game. It's just there's just not a lot of reason to throw the ball against that team.
Bucker or Myers this week?
It's buttkicker.com.
Bucker. Do we trust Mike White? No.
Don't be throwing around that T word like that, okay? Like, I wouldn't say that I trust Mike White, but he did look good in that spot start against one of the worst defenses in the league. But I will say that the offense looked way better. And this is, I know he played last year, but he played last year with absolutely zero weapons last year. Now, he has, obviously Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. I mean, Tyler Conklin. I mean, there's a lot more better options here, I think, in this passing game that's surrounding him. And that's a really solid start. 315, 24.8 fantasy points. He looked pretty good doing it. Last year, he was not very good, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I trust him, but I do think that he is a decent option.
Yeah. Trust Mike White as much as I trust Chipotle not to give me the shits. It's hit and miss. Do we trust Elijah Moore or Corey Davis? Talked about Corey Davis on the wide receiver show today. I would go Corey Davis over Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore only played, it was like sub 40%. I want to say it was like 35% of the snaps last week. Corey Davis came back from that injury. He jumped into a 68% snap share. So I would go Corey Davis over Elijah Moore. Do we think Darrell Henderson can carve any sort of helpful fantasy role in Jacksonville? I do not, Reward. I think maybe he mixes in, but never gonna feel good about starting him. Where we rank Seahawks D on the week. The Seahawks D was one of my favorite waiver ads. I think they were only rostered in like 11% of ESPN leagues. I did not rank the defenses. I was only looking at streaming options, so defenses that were owned in less than 50% of leagues. But you gotta like the Seattle D. They actually do give up a decent amount on of production just in terms of passing yards, running yards. But I think they were, let's say, like 6th or 7th in terms of turnovers forced. So, and obviously with all the injuries and all the issues the Rams are having, gotta like Seattle. Big Trev needs our help. Thielen or DPJ? Is this a Big Trev? Is this a trade? Or is this? Never mind. I'm sleep deprived. So Thielen or DPJ? I'm gonna go. Man, Rashad White on the second one, and Kev, Thielen or DPJ. I know we've been waiting for this moment for DPJ. He's been someone that we have talked about pretty often this year.
I'm going to go with Donovan Peoples-Jones. Outside corners for the Jets, obviously elite, especially Sauce Gardner, the way he's played this year. Yeah, I'm going to go Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Fields or Tua? It's going to be Tua for me.
I agree, yeah.
Do we think Nico Collins can truly break out?
No,
offense.
No, yeah, he's limited because of quarterback, right? Like a lot of these players are with a lot of these really bad quarterbacks. So I don't think this year would be the year that I would expect that to happen. Just because they just don't have the quarterback to get it done. Though hopefully they do the right thing and when they have their number one overall pick, they take the best quarterback, whomever that be, and that's going to be the start of this rebuild that this team needs to go under after the Bob years, the Bill O'Brien just completely decimating this team with any sort of draft capital and just horrific trades that they made along the way. Yeah. But they're going to get a lot of these picks, with the trading of Sean Watson and all that, the way everything broke out there. So, but yeah, Rest of season, I think Nico Collins could be like a fine back end wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 type option. I think for most time.
Yeah, I agree. Chat, appreciate you all for rocking with us and helping each other out. Love to see it. Kev, like you said, you'll be going live for the DFS show tomorrow. We'll be back with you guys on Sunday morning for more start sit action. Any other questions you have, you guys can drop them on any of the comments and any of the videos that we've already done, or you can jump into our absolutely free fantasy football Discord. Thank you all for rocking with us. Please hit us with a sub and a like. Good luck this week, and we'll talk to you all soon.